Working the night shift changes you. The hours stretch too long. The silence gets too loud. You start noticing things that don't add up, sounds without sources, shadows that hesitate before disappearing. And sometimes, you get the feeling the building remembers things it shouldn't. This story was sent in by a former night security guard named Alan. He says he's never shared what happened that night. Not with coworkers. Not with family. After you hear it, you'll understand why. Alan worked nights at an aging office complex on the edge of town. Decades ago, it had been a textile factory. In 1963, a fire tore through the upper floors and trapped 3 workers inside. The factory shut down soon after. Years later, the city renovated what they could and turned it into office space. But some parts of the building were never reopened. People who worked there said the place felt off. Alan had gotten used to the noises. Old pipes knocking, rats in the ceiling, wind squeezing through broken vents. Buildings settle, metal contracts. He told himself there was always an explanation. But that night the building wasn't making noise. It was silent. Too silent. At exactly 2:47 a.m., Alan noticed something on the security monitor. Camera 3, basement hallway. A light was on. The problem? There were no working lights in the basement. The wiring had been ripped out years ago. The lower level had been sealed off after structural damage. No tenants. No maintenance. No access. He leaned closer to the screen. The bulb flickered, slow at first, then steady, as if someone were standing beneath it, shifting their weight back and forth. Alan picked up the radio. "Control, this is Alan. Do we have maintenance in the basement?" Only static answered. On the monitor, the image glitched, just for a fraction of a second. But in that flash, he saw it, a silhouette at the end of the hallway, standing perfectly still, facing the camera. Behind it was a doorway that shouldn't have been there. He knew that layout. That door had been bricked over years ago. He swallowed. Old equipment, he told himself. Faulty feed. Interference. Still, he grabbed his flashlight, signed the activity log, and headed for the service stairs. Each step echoed like the building was swallowing the sound. The air grew colder as he descended. Damp. Heavy. And beneath it all, the faint smell of burnt fabric. At the bottom of the stairs, he stopped. The basement door was slightly open. He was certain he had checked it earlier. Locked. Chained. Now the chain hung loose, snapped clean through. Alan pushed the door open. Dust floated in the beam of his flashlight. Old machinery hunched beneath tarps like sleeping animals. He raised the radio again. Control? Nothing. Then he heard it. Tap. 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 Metal striking metal. Slow. Deliberate. Somewhere deeper in the dark. Hello? He called out. Maintenance? The tapping stopped. Silence pressed in around him. Then, soft and brittle as dry paper, a woman's voice whispered, "We're still working." Alan's blood ran cold. The voice had come from behind a storage door at the far end of the room, a door wrapped tight in rusted chain. He stepped closer. The tapping resumed. Faster now. Tap, 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 tap. Something slammed against the door from the inside. Alan staggered back, nearly dropping his flashlight. From the narrow crack beneath the door, a thin stream of black ash began to spill out. It slid across the concrete floor like liquid shadow, spreading toward his boots. He didn't wait. He ran, up the stairs 2 at a time, through the hallway, into the security office. He slammed the door behind him and locked it. The monitors flickered. Camera 3 still showed the basement hallway. The light still burned. But now there were 3 figures standing beneath it. They weren't moving, just standing there, watching. Alan zoomed in. For one terrible second, the image sharpened. 3 faces, charred, skin split and blackened, Mouths open in silent screams, eyes hollow and glassy like burned-out bulbs. The power went out. Every screen snapped to black. The overhead lights died. Alan clicked his flashlight. Nothing. The backup generator never kicked on. In the thick darkness, he heard it again. Tap, tap, tap. This time, from right outside the security room door. His breath trembled as he lifted the radio one last time. Control, please respond. The radio crackled. A voice answered. But it wasn't Control. It was the same woman, calm, close. We told you, she whispered, the night shift never ends. The door handle began to turn. They found Alan the next morning still sitting in his chair, eyes wide, unblinking. The radio clutched in his hand. The security monitors were looping the same footage over and over, the basement light flickering, 3 shadows standing perfectly still beneath it. Police reported no signs of forced entry, but the basement door's lock had been torn off from the inside. The building was condemned weeks later. If you drive past it now, people say you can still see a faint glow from the lower windows. Just a single light burning in the dark, like someone's still down there, still working. Alan's replacement lasted 2 nights. Then he quit. He said the radio wouldn't stop whispering. And once, something called his name.